And with that, the 2025 season comes to an end.
Welcome to the Stuff and Things Podcast, your home for all stuff related to your favorite things in entertainment. Now, here are your hosts.
Hello everybody and welcome to 2026 here on the Stuff and Things Podcast. Happy New Year. I am Sam, still with you I'm afraid. But joining me, you'll all be delighted to hear, is Stefan.
Hey buddy, hangover has worn off. How are we doing?
Yes, starting the new year in a positive mindset. I have lots and lots of goals for the year. I intend to smash them all. But I don't do New Year's resolutions. What about you?
No, do you know what? I have said this for many, many years. I think New Year's Eve is probably the biggest anticlimax there is. Like, everyone does this whole, New Year, new me. No, you're still the same twat. It's just another day, you know. Everyone's like, 10, 9, 8. They count down. It's like 3, 2, 1, and then everything is exactly the same as it was 4 seconds ago. So I don't get it really.
So to be clear, we are 2 minutes into the first show of 2026 and you're already being a negative bastard.
Oh no. If you want to change your life and stuff, do it on the 3rd of September, the 2nd of February, whenever you want to do it. You haven't got to wait for some big gong thing just to change your life. You can change your life anytime you want.
Or not.
Or not. If you're happy how you are, you carry on.
Yes.
Was that better? Was that more positive? Was that more?
No, not really, because we're doing a show which is like Happy New Year, all about New Year and traditions and stuff, and you've kind of shit on it in the opening minute. So now I'm a bit kind of like, okay, so no New Year, new you, right? Cross that out. We're not going to discuss that.
No, I'm the same jolly sarcastic arsehole I was last year.
New Year's resolutions? No, we're not going to be talking about that. We can cross them out. That was where I was going. Like, do you do them? No. Okay. Do you set yourself up? No. Going to cross all that out. You're not interested in any of that.
My New Year's resolution is to still be here for this podcast next year.
Okay. I mean, that's...
I like to think it's achievable.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the way you've started this show is a Nelly negative. You might get fired, but, you know, other than that, it's fine, yes. So all joking aside, I like I was saying, I don't do New Year's resolutions, really. Not because I scold people who do or sort of have an opinion on it. I just, for me personally, I know that, like you said, holding myself to some sort of, okay, well, this is 1st of January, therefore everything changes. Like, it's not like that. You got to make a conscious kind of thing yourself of kind of, I want to make this change. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I'm always very, I'm very pro mental health in the sense of trying to look after yourself in as much as you do. So when I was younger, I'd start every year, and I'd write out 1st of January, I'd write out 5 to 10 things that I want to achieve in that year. Now, I'm someone who works analog, so I keep a paper diary, a page to a day diary for my work. And I would write these 5 to 10 things in the back note section of that diary, which means that when I finished work at the end of the year, I would get to the page where I wrote out these objectives. And I will tell you, 90% of the time, by the time that year had finished, I had completely forgotten what I'd written, even sometimes forgetting I'd written anything.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can see where this is going. I know you well enough.
So I would like get to the end of the year. Now, I think a lot of people can possibly relate to this, but you kind of start the year with this wide-eyed kind of, you know what, I'm going to try and do this. I'm going to try and do this. So hopefully I'll do this. This is, you know, this is my plan here. You know, I remember one year I even wrote down like my weight and stuff like that. Like, you know, I'd like to be, you know, way less at the end of the year. You know, there's all these little things I've done. And I don't know about anyone else. Like, I'll give a perfect example for this. Is I started 2020 with a list of 25 things that I was determined to get done in that year.
25 things. That's impressive.
Yeah, in 2020. Now, for anyone who's possibly suppressed this, 2020 was a bit of a bad year. There was a thing called a global pandemic.
Oh, yeah, that was that year.
COVID hit. Did you seriously forget? Like, I felt like as I was saying 2020, I was expecting a reaction and you, like, said nothing.
Yeah, no, I kind of, like, obviously remember the pandemic and stuff, but, it was like, 2020, bloody hell. That was 5-6 years ago. Oh, God, it was that year. It was...
Wow.
Oh,
if
God,
anyone
yeah.
ever, if anyone ever needed to illustrate just how quickly we forget stuff.
Oh, no,
So,
I remember it. Don't get me wrong. I remember the times. I just forget that it was 2020. Like, that seems... 2020 seems like not that long ago, yet COVID almost seems a lifetime ago.
so yeah, I tell you what, the lockdown did mess with my memory because I have this kind of like before lockdown, post lockdown kind of thing. And the amount of times, like, I'd have conversations with people and I'd be like, oh, I saw, God, yeah, I saw that person a couple of years ago. And then my brain would be like, no, you haven't seen them since lockdown, like, so it was before lockdown. And then I'm like, okay, so that must have been 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Like my scope of time has changed because do you remember during lockdown, we were going to do a different show? Because, like, loads of stuff we were watching at the time for stuff and things had stopped airing, because production had had to stop, everything was delayed.
Yeah.
And me and you were discussing doing a different show, just basically talking, like we do now, I guess, about different things and how we were feeling being locked down. And we were going to call it Today Has Been a Long Week.
Well, I do remember.
And that was because that's how it felt. Everything was so slow. Everything was just kind of like, ugh. And yeah, it was kind of mad.
See, for me,
But also
before
thanks to
lockdown,
COVID.
I was cabin crew for an airline. I
Yeah.
was a bachelor flying around Europe.
Yep.
Since lockdown, I'm now married with like an extra child.
Married with an extra child.
Well, I have 2 stepchildren, but they are my kids as far as anyone else that I am concerned. They are my kids.
Yeah.
And we now have a 3rd child as well, and I've been married since lockdown.
Yeah. Sorry,
So
no, it was
seems
terminology.
Such a long time ago.
I'm being a picky bastard. You were a bachelor, single, no kids. And then you said an extra child, like, so when you were a bachelor and single, you had kids?
Oh no, not
That was. So it was me being picky at the terminology. Just kind of, I want to elaborate to the listeners because there's a fair few listeners who think you're a bit of a cad. Which is ye oldie talk for man whore. Anyway,
Wow, I would, back in the day. I remember
fair.
those days. They were fun. Pre-COVID.
yes, a different stewardess in every airport, a different port in every steward. Anyway, right, moving on. I wrote this in 2020.
Oh yeah.
And I guess this is when I changed because I got to December and I'd done nothing on the list.
Which I can understand.
Not even
because
one.
We couldn't exactly do much.
No, like not even one. Like, and when I say, like, this list was 25, it was like there was some stuff on there which, in any normal reality of a year, you do almost without even having to list it, if that makes sense.
I will stop driving to the shops. I'll walk to the shops instead. Well, nope, can't do that one.
just yeah, just start, just stuff like I will, anyway, I can't even remember, but it was just stuff that you'd look at and just be like, how in the hell have I gone 12 months without ticking this goal? Like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing to me was, like, I got to December and I was done. Like, I was mentally very tired. Like, it had been a really, really long year. In so many different ways, because you go through this kind of like, it's not just, oh no, I'm worried about health, I'm worried about the global situation. You're also worried about your friends, your family. You're worried about all of it. Takes a toll. Like, all of it is quite exhausting. Like,
Yeah.
I had a relative of mine literally working around the clock with the vaccination teams and everything. So they were working with live samples of the virus, and they were working in like this crazy kind of shift pattern where they would get 3 hours sleep per 24 hours and then go back, and they just keep working and keep working and keep working, which is incredible and wonderful, and they did an amazing job. But you're kind of thinking to yourself, geez, I hope they're okay. You know, there's just so much, there was so much going on in amongst it, and you're just kind of, I got to December and I was exhausted, and I remember putting a line through all of these things, and I just wrote survive and put a tick next to it.
Yeah.
Because after that 12 months, I was just delighted I was still there.
Yeah.
You know,
it
and
was
genuinely,
crazy
it was
times.
just like an insane feeling. So I kind of parked New Year's resolutions or this kind of thing after that, because it was like, do you know what? If I write these things out like this, come December every year, I'm annoyed at myself if there's certain things not done, certain things I've not achieved. So why don't I change this mindset that is kind of like, do you know what? There's a few things I'd like to do this year. If I don't do them, there's probably going to be a damn good reason I've not done them. So, okay. But these are things I'd like to do. Like I try and set myself a goal every year, like to try and finish a book I'm writing. I try and do all these different random stuff. So, like I was saying, New Year's resolutions, each to their own. Do what makes you happy. Do what kind of thing. For me, I kind of adjusted where I'm at with it, because that's 2020 kind of barreled me for that.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
So this is the Stuff and Thanks podcast. This is primarily
We're
movies,
starting the year by
TVs.
reminding you about COVID.
Yeah, because you never know. Could be back.
Oh, God.
Variant number 706. So 2025, we're going to do a very quick look back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you for a favourite TV show from 2025. And that is a show that came out in 2025, not like season 708 of Grey's Anatomy, you weirdo. And then a favourite movie that came out in 2025 for you. Because I've sprung that on you, I'll go first if you like.
Yes, please. Yep.
So yeah, TV shows in 2025. The first one I'm going to pick out. I know I said just pick one, but there's a reason why I've kind of got two here, and that's Daredevil: Born Again.
Yep.
Now the main reason why it's kind of I'm not quite sure about it is because obviously Daredevil 3 seasons ran earlier on Netflix. Born Again wasn't really Daredevil season 4. Technically, it is a new show for Disney Plus. However, it is a continuation. So I kind of wanted to give it a special mention, even though it's not quite in the category. It was it was a show that we both really enjoyed. So when it was coming back, you had that kind of nervous energy of please be as good as I want it to be, and for me it was. So that was really good. So the show I actually want to talk about then is my 2025 pick, is a show called Paradise. Did you hear about that one?
No. I've realised, I'm looking through now, I've realised just actually how little TV I've really watched this year.
Well, you've been watching Grey's Anatomy a lot, which again, I can't stress enough how embarrassing that is.
I blame the wife on that. She got me into it.
To be quite clear, I've had this conversation with your wife, who claims the opposite. So, Paradise is I believe it's a Hulu original in the USA, airs on Disney Plus in the UK. It's a show I cannot say a massive amount, because it's like the end of the very first episode has a plot twist which just throws everything out the window.
Okay.
But what I will say is the Earth is facing a cataclysmic natural disaster that is going to end all civilization. The President of the United States is planning for this eventuality, and you are following the story from the point of view of one of his top Secret Service agents.
Oh, okay.
And so you follow everything that goes on. The show tells the story of all the event, everything that's going on, and it's fascinating. They wrote the show, they produced it, a massive hit, and they immediately went into production on a season 2. It got renewed really early. So I believe we are going to get a season 2 in 2026, which I'm really looking forward to.
Maybe that needs to be my New Year's resolution. Maybe I do need one. Maybe it needs to be watch more TV shows.
To be honest with you, man, considering the podcast we do, it might be helpful.
It's like I watch the stuff we podcast about. Definitely.
No, you don't. Stop, because I'll embarrass you on the show. Don't do this.
I watch most of the things we talk about.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, or at least we used to talk about.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend that. If that's one that you missed, go back and watch it, because it is a really good show. It has got a season 2. Very well written, very well acted. Lots of people and faces you'll recognise throughout the show, and it is one of those where every time you have that kind of, okay, I've got a handle on everything now, they move the story along, and you're like, oh wow, okay, no, oh no. So yeah,
I like those sort of shows.
Even the finale of the show moves the goalposts again. It's like, oh wow, okay, season 2 is going to be wild, which I love. I love that. I love that kind of. It's that feeling of when you watch an episode, you're like, yeah, I need to watch the next one. It's 2 a.m, doesn't matter. I will suffer for this.
I will still just get one more in. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's certain ways, we talked about it before, about shows that are clearly written streaming in mind, with the idea that people do tend to get to the end of an episode and it's like, okay, my natural jumping off point is here. Oh, but what? That happened? Right, okay, I need to watch the next one. So yeah, so it is very, very good. Get
one. There's no point sleeping at this point.
Exactly, yeah. 2025 movie, I'm going to stay on brand, and I'm going to pick a Marvel film, and I'm going to pick Thunderbolts, Asterix.
Do you know what? Yeah, that was a very, very good movie.
Yeah, forgetting Marvel MCU for a moment, I am just a fan of action-adventure, kind of comedic. This is probably why I like the MCU. In its original form, there were so many kind of action films with just that little bit of kind of humour to it, and a little bit of a kind of just levity, but also a kind of at times impactful. The overall film of Thunderbolts did something in it which I think was a struggle. So you introduced a character in the MCU called Sentry. Mild spoiler alert here. Sentry is a Marvel version of Superman. Can do everything. Can fly. Invulnerable. Is ridiculously OP.
Oh, yes.
Is so powerful. However, the Sentry character has a kind of split personality issue where, when assuming all this power and everything like that, it kind of awakens a dark side of this individual known as the Void. And the Void is not a good person. And so when using, it's kind of, to me, it was a brilliant way of nerfing an ridiculously powerful character, and the actor who played it did such an amazing job, because despite having this insane level of power that could be used for good or bad, was just Bob. It was just this really nice guy called Bob.
Yeah.
And really unassuming, really kind of wanted to keep himself to himself. There's an amazing scene where they're all talking about what they contribute, and he's like, I did the washing up. Amazing. Just, yeah, there's just so much in that film I really enjoyed. I love the character of Yelena. She was introduced in the Black Widow film, kind of Scarlett Johansson passing the mantle, which when you watch that film through that lens, you realise just how good that film was.
Yep.
And so yeah,
I think that's
Yeah,
a strong
so I'm gonna
choice.
pick that
That's
one.
a strong choice for this year.
So, my friend, 2025 TV show for you. What you got?
So, I have struggled a little bit on this one, based purely on the fact it turns out I've not watched that much telly.
That's sad.
For me, I have two again, same as you. The first one being Daredevil, because that was genuinely incredible television.
Yep.
The other one was a show called Murderbot.
Yes.
I watched that near the beginning of the year, I believe that was. Quite early on, I watched that show. And I remember just really enjoying the completely different side of... We've seen kind of shows a bit like that before, but this kind of had a different side to it. And I very, very much enjoyed that. But
that is
I do
based
think
on-
Daredevil was my best show of the year.
Murderbot is based on a book series that I absolutely loved. So when I saw Apple TV were doing it, I was giddy. I think there was no way you couldn't have watched that. I think I would have forced you.
Yeah, pretty much. But it was good.
Yeah.
And me and the wife both enjoyed that.
It has that kind of.
It was very zany, very strange, very kind of good. Very good, though.
Brilliant, mate. No, that's a great choice. Great shout. So 2025 movie for you.
So,
Oh God.
it's been out for approximately 6 weeks now. Wicked for good.
Oh mate, what are you talking about?
That is it. I mean, that is a musical that I have seen on stage. We worked out I have seen that on stage 8 times. Wicked. And the fact they made it into a movie was like the happiest thing for me, and it was fantastic. However, coming away from that, because I understand, you're about to judge me really, really hard on that.
To be honest with you, I'm not. I mean, my daughter loved Wicked so much, but she said the second film was absolutely crap. But then the second act isn't great either.
That's where it was difficult, because everybody knows Wicked from, Defying Gravity, Popular, all those songs. So it's very much a case of the first act is incredible.
Yeah.
The second act, they had to add a fair bit of padding to, because in reality, nearly everything happens in the first act.
Yeah.
But I very much enjoyed it.
Okay, man. Well, that's what matters, and I'm sure no one is judging you.
The other two I've got is Fantastic Four.
Hang on. It was one. Pick one.
Hey, we're picking those. Fantastic Four. I really enjoyed that, considering... So I enjoyed the very original Fantastic Four. Then they rebooted it, and I think I got about halfway through it and just went, no.
Yeah.
No, not for me. This one I was very nervous about, because, when they've tried to make a film this many times, it's either got to absolutely be great or they're in trouble.
Well, this is the first time Marvel Studios have tried to make it.
Yeah, first time they've done it themselves properly.
Yeah.
Now, I think they got the casting spot on. I loved the fact in it that they kind of referenced themselves as, we had comic books made about us, we had this made about us. All that. I loved the completely different take on it to what we've seen before.
Yeah.
People walking down the street to him, oh, it's clobbering time. What time is it? What time? He's like, no, that's the comic book version. I don't actually say that. So I loved little bits like that. I thought that was brilliant.
Okay.
It kind of brought a bit of fun back to the MCU, the same as the Thunderbolts did. It kind of felt like maybe we're turning a corner a little bit again with the MCU, and we're bringing back... We're just making fun action movies.
Okay.
Which I'm hopeful. Very hopeful. So yeah, there you go.
So we are now in 2026.
We are.
So enough looking behind us. What are we looking forward to in 2026? So again, a TV show and a movie. Again, to give you a chance to calibrate yourself to that, I will go first.
Yep. Thank you.
2026, picking one TV show. There's loads of season 2s and season 3s and 4s and stuff, shows that I love coming. but a show without a shadow of a doubt that's coming in 2026, which has to be the one I pick, is the final season of The Boys.
Oh, you bastard! That was the one I had.
The main reason for that is that has been a show which has been diabolical and just insanity, and it's so captivating. And because there's been this gap, like there always is, I watched in 2025 the spin-off Gen V, the second season of that show, and it took me a couple of episodes, maybe 3 episodes, to be kind of like, okay, slowly getting back into the world. It is all heavily linked. Slowly getting back in, but once I was in, I'm just desperate for that finale now. Like, I am so locked in. By the time I watched the Gen V finale, which, by the way, that show has a plot twist and a half. But when now, like season 5 of The Boys, the final season, knowing how horrific they are, knowing that because it's the final season, any character could be destroyed at any moment, every episode is going to be just must see, must watch when it's released, because spoilers will drive me insane.
Yes, yeah,
There
that's
are
going to be
very-
one where we are going to have to stick away from anything
Yeah.
that's going to ruin that.
There are very few shows now which are on that level of must see straight away. Very few.
Yeah.
And that is going to be one. So that is why I've picked it. Your good self, is there a show you are looking forward to in 2026?
But do you know how difficult this is to narrow this down to one show?
Yes.
Just to give
Because I
you,
just
just
did
to
it.
give you like a quick overview of shows. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
we've got the final season of The Boys.
True.
Yeah, we then have House of the Dragon, which I have been absolutely loving.
Yeah.
We have Daredevil, Born Again.
Yep.
We have also got Shrinking.
Yep.
We have Ted Lasso.
Yep.
We have A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms.
Can't wait for that. Yep.
I know I haven't watched it myself, but you've got the Stranger Things.
That came out 2025 and is finished.
Oh. So you can tell I don't watch it. I thought it didn't come out to the beginning of this year.
No, the final episode was New Year's.
Oh, was it? Oh, I've just missed it. Damn, I was looking forward to watching that.
You watch Grey's Anatomy. Shut your mouth. Carry on.
You got Spider Noir.
Yeah, yeah.
That looks like it's going to be quite interesting. So there's a lot of stuff coming out. And I know there'll be way more than that I'm missing. And people are going, how are you not talking about Vision Quest? Isn't that meant to be coming out this year?
Yep.
I'm like, dude, how are you meant to choose just one?
Well, what I did is I picked the one I was most looking forward to.
Show off. Okay, so for me... I'm going to say Shrinking.
Fair enough.
I
it's a
genuinely
great
think that
show.
is one of the best... It is one of the best TV shows I've ever seen.
Shrinking Season 3, starring Jason Segel, Harrison Ford. If you've not watched the first 2 seasons, it's an Apple TV show. It is incroyable. It's brilliant. Very well written, very funny, very heartwarming, very well acted. Definitely give that a go.
Definitely.
And there is a new season coming. We now move on to the movie category, and I will tell you right now, I struggled to pick one because there are 3 films coming out in 2026 that I am equal parts excited to watch, terrified they're going to be crap.
Can I guess at 2?
Oh, please try, yes.
So, knowing your age,
Easy.
I'm going to go for Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat.
No.
Because they are games you would have grown up playing, and now they're movies, and they could be really crap.
They will be crap. Like, naff, not for me. There are versions of those films that are from like the 90s that are my go-to for those films. They're also crap, but are just my reference points. To be honest with you, you should know these 3 films.
I
Like,
think
you-
I can guess at least 2 of them.
Go for it.
So, you've got Mandalorian and Grogu,
Correct.
which I am buzzing for. However, yeah, there's that real fear of it worked so well as a TV show. The whole
Yeah.
going from point A to B, but never actually really getting to point C because he gets sent off to do a mission and all that.
Yeah.
It worked perfectly. Episodic TV show.
And by all accounts, it's an episode of The Mandalorian stretched for 2 hours.
Yeah, and I'm just a bit like,
Yeah.
I want it to be the best thing I walk out the cinema and see all year, but I'm nervous.
Yeah. So my feeling on that is, if it just feels like an episode of the show, but bigger in length, then that's going to be a bit disappointing. I want there to be a bit more to it, but I can't point what that is. Like I don't know what that is. Whether it's visually, whether it's just the fact cinematically it looks amazing in the cinema, I don't know. But I think if I walk out feeling like that was just a stretched episode, then I'm going to feel a little bit sad. But then, of course, I'm not necessarily the target audience. I remember feeling that way about the Simpsons movie, and my daughter loved it.
Yeah, see,
Like,
that
was
that
just
is
the
one of the
best thing
things that
ever.
really worries me. Like,
Yeah.
we both love the Mandalorian TV show.
Yep.
If I then go to the cinema and watch this movie and I leave going, oh, that was made for, like, kids,
Well,
then I think I'll be like, well, for me, that will then not feel like the TV show. And obviously, it's not the TV show, it's a movie, but you know what I mean? Like, it would then feel like, well, why have they just
Yeah.
changed the entire thing? Just
I don't think it's. I
milk it
don't
at a
think it's
cinema?
going to be.
like,
No, I don't. I don't think it's going to be made for kids. I didn't. I didn't mean it in that way. I meant I was disappointed with the Simpsons movie because there was this weird thing in my head, which is like, and the funny thing is, they said it. So at the very end of the Simpsons movie, there's a reference that no, at the start of the movie, Homer says, "Why am I in the cinema paying money to watch a movie version of something I can watch on my TV for free?"
yeah,
Everyone in this cinema suckers, including you. And I'm like, yeah, you've kind of nailed me there, because that's true. Like, there are nearly 800 hours worth of Simpsons episodes I could watch, and basically I've just gone to the cinema, spent money to do the same,
just to watch a
but for
longer
2
version.
hours. But what I meant, not so much it was aimed at kids, but just my daughter just loved it, going to watch The Simpsons in the cinema. That was amazing.
No, I guess
So it could just be like that's what's in my head and concerning me. Okay, do you want to have another guess? Because there's 2 more from my list.
Doomsday.
Avengers Doomsday is on my list. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That is one of the most anticipated movies of the year. And I think
yeah.
I'm dreading it.
Ironically for me, Avengers Doomsday is going, like, how I feel about that film is going to be largely dictated to me by the other one that's on my list.
Is that the Spider-Man New Day? Is it a
Brand New Day,
Brand
yeah.
New Day, that's it.
Yeah. So I watched the Thunderbolts, and in the end credit scene, there's a clear reference to the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
I watched the Fantastic Four, and in the end credit scene, there is a clear reference to Doomsday.
Yes.
But nothing is tied, nothing is kind of telling me what to expect or how to do. All I know is there's an Avengers film coming, but there isn't an Avengers anymore, because I watched Captain America 4, and like there's just no... It's a mess in my mind of where everything is. The Russo brothers are very, very good at landing these types of things. How in the hell Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Doom fascinates me. fascinates me because there are some fan theories out there that I'm like, that is so good. If it's that is so, so good. And there's this interview with Kevin Feige where he seems to suggest that he's had this plan for a long time.
Yes, yeah, I've seen that. It's kind of like, I've been planning this. It always had to be this character. It had to be this actor.
Yeah. And then people have kind of put together these kind of like, okay, so let's take him at his word on this. What have we seen throughout the MCU which could suggest it? And there are countless little bits that, even if at the time they were like abandoned kind of plot lines,
Yeah.
you could then easily go, oh, actually, that works quite well. Like, you, even if like you were looking at it, even if you are a little bit cynical like me, and you think MCU's not doing very well, quick, break glass, release Robert Downey Jr. back to the MCU.
It feels that way, doesn't it?
How do we shoehorn him back in? And someone had to sit there and go, right, how can we make him Doom and it makes sense? It's funny that some of the fans have gone through and done this stuff, and I always love the idea of like someone sitting in a writer's room going, hey, I just watched a TikTok and it's better than any idea we got.
Yeah,
I love.
We're just going to sit there and go, you worked it out. Well done. Put it in the script. Put it in the script now.
I just love the idea that they announced it and then went, the fans will tell us how to do it. What do you mean? Don't worry. Give it a few weeks. There'll be enough fan theories and we can choose which one's best and go with it.
Yeah, trust me.
Right.
We're going to sit low for a month. You're then going to open TikTok and type in Doomsday. It'll all be there.
How is Iron Man Doom? And they'll tell us, and we'll see which one's the most popular, and we'll go with it.
And, oh my God, you're right. He did look confused when he went back in time and spoke to his dad, and the dates didn't line up about the birth.
There you go.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, Spider-Man: Brand New Day, due to the fact it was filming in the UK, the sheer amount of set photos that have been everywhere have been impossible to avoid, because I'm into like comic book stuff, movies, so I load any of my social media and there's just stuff everywhere.
There's a video of Tom Holland in the middle of Glasgow, standing on top of an American New York taxi, where they've made Glasgow look as close to New York as possible.
Yeah,
it's quite amusing to me.
It is very amusing.
If only there was a giant city called New York, they could have filmed it instead of making Glasgow look like it.
I mean, you know why they don't.
Well, yes.
I will just say this for anyone listening, going, tell me why. Stefan might know, I don't.
No, I'm not.
Money!
Nope.
If you are from so you run New York City and someone wants to film there, you will charge them license fees and stuff like that. What has come about 2025 has become into the public domain, is these large studios are moving lots and lots of productions to the UK because they don't have to pay health insurance for their crew, because the UK has the National Health Service. So they can hire British workers who don't need to provide health insurance for. They can just put them on site, and if something happens to them, the NHS takes care of it.
Phone 999, ambulance, and
saving them millions, and that's all studios care about. So they will make Glasgow look like New York rather than do it. And keep in mind, it's not the first people to do this.
No,
Disney did it with Lucasfilm for the last Indiana Jones film. All of the scenes that you think are New York in the 50s, 60s was actually filmed in Glasgow. So there you go.
I need to move to Glasgow. I'm going to become an actor. I'm going to move to Glasgow.
You don't need to become an actor there. There's the amount of people posting videos, just literally, I was stood here and I'm now in the new Spider-Man film, is crazy. So it is kind of like all the stuff is shown the sheer weight of characters that are in it. And I guess my kind of thing is like, I always worry when films get a bit kind of, oh, this guy's in it, and this guy's in it, and this guy's in it, and this character's in it, and I'm like, okay, at what point does this become a cameo fest and we forget the storyline?
Yes,
Like,
for me,
that's
they
worrying.
kind of did. Infinity War and Endgame was so perfect.
Yeah.
Like, there's a small part of me that almost wishes that was it. Because it was so perfect. And it ended so perfect that you're like, do you know what? That's it. Like, draw the line there. You've hit perfection. You're done. Like, that was incredible. Then we had the third Spider-Man movie, which which is still the only movie I've ever been to the cinema and watched 5 times.
Yeah, that's insane.
Like, it was such a good movie. I saw it twice in normal cinema, once in IMAX. Then I went back and saw it, and they did like a 4DX screening of it,
Right.
where like the chairs move and wind hits you in the face and stuff like that.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, go on, then I loved the movie. I'll go see it again. And then I think I saw it in just like regular 3D, which was a bit naff.
Regular 3D.
It was a bit naff. That movie was not made to be 3D. They just conned me out of like an extra 30 quid for 2 tickets, you know.
I'll do it.
But, you know, so that then happened. I was like, all right, fair enough. They've saved it. They're going to keep going. This is going to be amazing. And then I think we can all agree it kind of dropped off a bit for a while. Like, they made some movies where you kind of watched them and you just kind of went, okay, great, woohoo. Then, the last year and a bit, the movies have come out, and it started for me with the 4th Captain America film.
Yeah.
Where I left the cinema going, that felt like phase 1. It just felt like there was a story, start, middle, end, bit of humour, a bit of action, fairly fast paced. I just watched a movie. I liked that. And it had a little bit that we know will kind of link on going further forward, but it wasn't kind of like too much having to think about where and when it was set, what universe, what this, what that. It was a movie.
You say that, but it still doesn't make any sense.
A massive amount of sense, no. Then Thunderbolts came out, and we've already discussed, like, that was a really good movie.
Yeah.
And it again, we had the humour, we had the emotion in it, fairly fast-paced action film, left the cinema and went, yeah. Again, it kind of felt a bit like a phase 1. I enjoyed that. And then,
how did we get on to critiquing the MCU again?
how did we get to what?
Like, how did we get to critiquing the MCU again?
Because we're scared of Doomsday coming out.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was just thinking to myself, we were talking about films we're looking forward to in 2026.
And we've gone back in. But no, that's the thing, because I'm really looking forward to the Spider-Man movie. For me, the Spider-Man movie is probably the movie I'm looking most forward to next year.
Okay.
Because I've loved those 3 movies. I loved him cameoing in Civil War. I loved him being in the Avengers movies. I have loved all of that stuff with that character. And the way that Tom Holland has played him and the way it's been written has been brilliant. So, I saw the last one 5 times in the cinema. Like, I have loved these movies. And the fact that we are now, kind of in a weird way, those first 3 movies have actually become the origin story. And we are now joining this friendly neighbourhood Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Which we normally get in the first movie that we've seen because, you know, Uncle Ben dies and we get this Spider-Man character. Well, we've actually had 3 incredible movies leading to his with power comes great responsibility moment, and now we get this street level friendly neighbourhood Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So I am buzzing for that, like unbelievably excited for that film.
The one character that's been added to the film which raises an eyebrow from me is the Punisher.
Yeah.
So for anyone who doesn't know, the Punisher was introduced to the MCU via the Netflix series. He is an incredibly violent character. Incredibly violent.
Yep.
How does that exist in the Sony Marvel crossover Spider-Man?
I can't
All of those
wait to find
films,
out.
but done like there is a problem with the MCU with Deadpool in it, where everything Deadpool does is to camera, is the merc with the mouth. And me and you've said he can cameo in stuff, and there are funny ways you can do it. But too much of that will just destroy any film he's in.
It's the same sort of problem
just
with
take
She-Hulk's
over.
going to have.
Exactly. And I feel, and like, so to me, you're adding Bruce Banner the Hulk into the Spider-Man film, plus the Punisher. There's a very famous comic arc in that with those three characters, which by all accounts could be where they're going. But still, I don't see how the ridiculously violent, murdering Punisher and Spider-Man interact and it not be a bit odd. So you're either going to have to tone down the Punisher to the point that he's rated 12A, and in that point, why are you using him?
He's going to turn from the Punisher to the Naughty Stepper.
Exactly. That doesn't work.
No.
Or you've got to tone up Spider-Man, which is possible, but they're not going to do that because that kills their audience.
Yeah, and like
They
the whole
want
thing
a-
with
they want a
Spider-Man,
$1 billion
Spider-Man never
movie.
kills anyone. He knocks people out. He webs them up for the police to come and get them. That's
Yeah.
kind of like a big thing. Even from the last Spider-Man movie, it was a big thing about how they lost
Big
control
thing.
and lost their rage, and
Yep.
this one didn't, because Tobey Maguire stopped this one from doing that.
Yep.
And so therefore Spider-Man does not kill.
No.
The Punisher shoots first, maybe asks a question later.
Yeah, he's the judge. In the words of Hot Fuzz, he is Judge Judy executioner. Yeah.
Very much so. Very much so. And when I say think about it later, he probably won't.
No
So
remorse.
to have them together, it is going to be... and again, I can't wait to see how they do it. Like, I am just so excited for this movie. We
Okay,
then
well,
fast
my-
forward 6 months later to Doomsday, and like you say, I have this real fear of they are bringing so much into this one movie.
Yeah.
They managed to get it perfect once before.
Yeah.
Are they able to do it twice? Or are we going to come out the
My-
cinema going, what the hell did I just watch?
I feel a little bit like that with Spider-Man. Like, I genuinely worry that they've jumped the shark when you look at the sheer weight of characters that are going to be involved. But until you watch it, you don't know. And it's the same with Doomsday, same with Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to all three and hopeful they're very good. Was there any other movies on the 2026 slate you had, or is it just you're with me on those three?
I think mainly those three. I mean, looking at... There's other movies that I'm going to end up going to the cinema and seeing, but I don't think the same level of excitement. Like, the kids want to go see the Jumanji movie that comes out end of the year.
Yeah.
My youngest wants to see The Cat in the Hat because we've just introduced her to Cat in the Hat and the Grinch. So I'm going to end up going to see that at the cinema. Moana, The Minions, Toy Story I'm very nervous for because I don't know why they made a fourth one, yet they're making a fifth.
Yeah, it's called Search for More Money.
It really is. This is the toys versus computers. We're ignoring the fact that Woody left to go live a life with Bo Peep because he's reading the trailer. Anyway, let's not get started on that.
Yeah.
There's a He-Man movie coming back out, which I thought you might have mentioned.
No.
Masters of the Universe.
No, I know it's coming out, but I just... No.
No. But no, I think they are the main... I think they're the main three, aren't they? Especially for us in the podcast.
So let's call the show here. Just once again, Happy New Year to everybody. I hope 2026 brings you only good things. We will be continuing a show every single Friday, and this year we are going to do our damnedest to bring you a few specials on top of that as well. Keep an eye on the social media. You will find any announcements we make regarding shows there. Until next week, everybody, you all take care. And like always on the show now, I'm going to leave you with Stefan and his final thought.
If you're sat on the toilet as the clock strikes midnight, is it literally same shit, different day?
Thank you for listening to the Stuff and Things podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. You can find us on Facebook or online. Simply search the Stuff and Things podcast to join in our conversation every week.